Okay, I think we are live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yes, we are live. Okay, tonight, this live stream is to have a discussion of the COVID-19 virus in San Antonio and the measures that people are taking to try and corral it. Anybody that's interested in such a thing, well, you're welcome to pop right in here. Hello, Scott. Good to see you. It's work time there, I see. Well, I was doing this live stream tonight because last week a family traveled from San Antonio to California. And 2 weeks after they got back, one of those people tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. And they had to try to figure out everywhere they went in those 2 weeks. And as a result, last week, the mayor of San Antonio declared that there should be no meetings of more than 500 people, with some exceptions, but he did not issue a travel ban. Hello, Aldias. We're just discussing here tonight what San Antonio is doing to help combat the COVID-19 virus. As I was saying a week or so ago, there was a family that traveled to California, and when they got back after 14 days, one of them tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. And so they're trying to figure out where all they went. And last week, the mayor of San Antonio declared there should be no meetings of more than 500 people, with some exceptions for churches and such. But most of the churches in San Antonio declined to have their regular church meetings. In fact, all the Catholic churches in San Antonio discontinued their Sunday masses until further notice. Some churches, like First Baptist Church, was always live streaming anyway, and they also had a live telecast on Channel 12, one of the local stations here. And so, fortunately for them, they just had everybody stay home and watch it on television. And this week they changed it now so that the size of the meeting was changed to no more than 200 people, with some exceptions. And they're recommending that people do not travel unless they have to. And the stores have been really, really crazy. Empty shelves, big old crowds. And I have a short little video here I want to share with you guys. I went to Costco this morning, my wife and I, just to pick up a few little things. Let me show you what Costco looked like this morning. We got there at 9:58 this morning, and they open at 10 o'clock. And this is the line to get in to Costco at 10 o'clock this morning. Just crazy. There was people waiting in line, but they were moving. I have to say that. They were starting to move them in fairly fast. And then at 11 o'clock, we were ready to check out. And this is the checkout line for Costco. 3/4 of the way to the back of the store on both sides. The right-hand side is for self-checkout. Left-hand side is for normal checkout. But this is just crazy. Anyway, that gives you an idea of kind of what been going on around here these days. It's just crazy as heck. And I don't know how long this is going to last. Last week, the kids were off from spring break the week before, so they gave them another week off this week. But next week, it looks like all the schools are going to be closed down until further notice. Yeah, Al, they kind of doing that here now. They're saying just don't go out. They're not saying you have to, but they say don't go out anywhere unless absolutely necessary. And especially if you're older people, stay home if you can't, if you can absolutely stay home. This is just crazy, crazy, crazy. It's out of control. You're right, bud. It is. Yeah. Some places had a few things. We went just to see if we could find some paper towels, which they didn't have. They didn't have any hamburger meat. We did find some fire roasted chickens, and they didn't have a limit on those. So we got 4 of those for $4.99 each, which is pretty good buy. But fortunately, we live out in the country, and so we have a pretty good store of food normally all the time. We've got several freezers with stuff in it, so unless the power goes out, we'll be good. I have a 2,500-gallon water tank out by my water pump, so I don't have to worry about water. People were filling up whole buggies of water at Costco, just crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that stuff in San Francisco, Al. It's a lot worse out there than it is here. This is all over just one known case that was brought in from somewhere else. Had a full bar last night. Bud Bieber, you had a full bar. Yeah, I guess it's driving some people to drink. They haven't shut down the bars and restaurants here like they have in New York, but that might be next. A lot of the bars and restaurants have carry-out service. You can pull up and get what you want right at the door and pay for it and leave. I guess that's a good thing. But I guess it's going to get crazier before it gets better. Yeah, panic has set in, and I have been reading about this virus, and it's not dangerous the first couple of weeks that you have it when you just have the sore throat. The problem happens when it gets down into the lungs. But I was reading an article from a doctor. He said if you think you have it, you start getting a sore throat, you should gargle with hot, salty water or anything else. He said that virus is very easy to kill while it's in the throat. And he said if you kill it there and it doesn't get into the lungs, you probably won't have many symptoms at all, except just a little coughing to begin with, and that's it. And the other thing you can do is take whatever you can to strengthen your immune system and discontinue all the bad habits you've got that don't contribute to good health, which is what I've been doing for years. But I'm not as afraid of it as most people are, and I'm 76 or will be next week. So yeah, there's so much stuff going on about it. A lot of the more calm discussions of it by real doctors just is not getting in the media. It's just the scare tactics is all you hear about. Fortunately, my wife was what you call a naturopath, which is a doctor that uses natural herbs and things like that for health and healing and good health. And so she's known about a lot of these things for a long time. And so it really hasn't bothered us that much. We worry about it, yes. We try to take precautions. We keep our hands washed, keep them away from our mouth and things like that. And that's really the best prevention you can do is just wash your hands often. Lou A&F, hello. Glad you stopped in. We're sitting here tonight discussing what the city of San Antonio is doing to help combat the COVID-19 virus, or coronavirus, as some people call it. But I heard reports for the last couple of days that things are getting better in China and South Korea, which is where it was the worst for a while. So that's at least encouraging. And I also heard that that virus cannot live outside your body in temperatures above 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So if that's the case, at least here in the South part of the United States, once summer comes, it should cut down on it, because the virus can live outside your body on surfaces for up to 12 hours. But if it's 80 degrees, it will not live long at all. These are some of the things that I've heard that's been going on. It's a lot of it's panic. I don't know where people are storing all this stuff they're buying at the stores, but I guess eventually when they run out of storage space or money to buy it, the craze will die down a little bit. But by then we may all be restricted to staying home. So I guess that's why they're doing it. Just panic setting in. Anybody else hear any interesting tidbits about anything you'd like to share with us? In case those of you don't know, that picture behind me is a picture of downtown San Antonio along the Riverwalk, which is a big tourist attraction, and that's not going to help. And I heard today where they shut down the Alamo for the first time since World War II. So I guess everything is going to start closing here. Yeah, the schools, Luann, the schools are going to be closed here. They were off for spring break week before last, and last week they came back, but they extended spring break for a week, and now it looks like they're going to close all the schools for the rest of the month. Yeah, Al, I think the media, they don't have anything to talk about, so when they do find something, they try to sensationalize it as much as they can. You have a curfew? Well, so far we don't have any curfews, and we don't have any travel bans as of yet. People are just encouraged to stay home as much as they can unless they really have to go out. I go to the First Baptist Church downtown, and they broadcast live on television every Sunday, and they've been doing that for years. And this last Sunday, they told all the congregants to stay home. It was only the staff and a few choir members, and of course us volunteers that work in the TV ministry had to be there. But we broadcast our normal service, it looked like, except there was nobody in the audience. They were all staying home watching on TV. We're very fortunate to be able to do that. Some of the other churches tried to set up a live stream so they could get it working, and some worked sort of, and some didn't work at all. It was kind of a last minute thing. I know a friend of mine tried doing that for his church, and it worked, but it was starting and stopping, as you know, a lot of these live streams will do if you don't have the bandwidth. But we live 25 miles west of San Antonio, out in the country in the middle of nowhere. And so we're not really worried that much about catching it out here. It's only when we travel into town we have to worry about it. But if we had to, I could batten down the hatches. We could stay here without going anywhere for at least a month. Yeah, Al, you got to listen to something besides the mainstream media, that's for sure. Because if you listen to that mainstream media all the time, you're going to go crazy. Yeah, I'll give you some time to go flying your drones, Al. That's what I was thinking too. If the wind ever dies down here, I'm going to get out and take some more pictures of wildflowers with my drone. We've got a pretty good crop of wildflowers so far this year, and usually when that happens, my wife and I go out hunting them and videotaping them and making videos about them. So we're looking forward to that this year. But we're both retired, so we don't have to worry about it. But I guess all you people that are off work can go do fun things while you're not working. Probably doesn't help the paycheck, but that's something. Yeah, I don't know how long this is going to last in San Antonio. They initially said 1 week, and then they would reevaluate it. And now they've tightened down the things for the second week, and it looks like it's going to go on all through the end of March at least before things get better. So we will see. Yeah, one good thing about me living out here in the country is about 2 years ago, my local electric utility, which is a co-op, decided they were going to put in fiber. And I was about the sixth house in our neighborhood to get it installed. And it is fantastic. I get really, really good upload and download speeds, better than most people in town. If I had the capability, I could actually live stream while playing a video off of YouTube, and both of them would play without interruption. But anyway, I just thought I'd get on here tonight and ramble a little bit after going to Costco and seeing all the mess there. But I will give them credit. They were moving things through as fast as they could. And most of the things that the average person would need was on the shelf. And I didn't see any limits on water. I know at some of the regular grocery stores, they limit you to two packages of water, whether it's gallons or cases of bottled water or whatever. They limit you to two. But at Costco, there weren't any limits on it. And I saw people filling up whole buggies with water. But I never figured out the toilet paper thing. I don't know how much toilet paper you got to have. Al, it's been good to see you dropping in. You be safe too, and I hope everything goes well where you're at. I didn't plan to do this very long, and I just wanted to see what others were doing across the country, and it looks like we're not the only ones in this boat. It looked like it's happening everywhere, and looked like the president today was suggesting even tighter limits on things like 10 people or less for a meeting, but it wasn't mandatory, so I don't know how far that's going to go. Anyway, Al, it's been good to see you, and drop back in anytime. And anybody else like to say anything or sound off, I can put you up here and everybody can see. Yeah, this is a pretty neat streaming program. It works very, very well for a lot of things. Finding nature. Glad to have you here. Yeah, we were having a discussion of what the city of San Antonio has been doing to combat the COVID-19 virus, and from the other comments I've had, it looks like we're not alone in this. Looks like a lot of the other places are a lot worse off than we are. I don't know what's going on in your world, but Al Diaz out in California was saying they shut down everything out there for quite a while. And Luann said that they've shut stuff down where she is for 2 weeks and all the schools are closed. And they have a curfew as of tonight after 8 p.m. So far, San Antonio's not had a curfew, nor a travel ban, just a recommendation not to have meetings of large groups. Well, I'm going to replay the Costco video one more time for those of you that didn't get to see it this morning. And well, I thought I was. Maybe I won't. Okay, well, thank all y'all for stopping in, and I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. I want all of y'all out there to stay safe, stay well, and stay healthy. One thing I was saying earlier for you that might not have been here, they're saying in the first stages of this virus where you get the coughy, itchy throat, if you will gargle with hot, salty water or any kind of hot stuff, that it will help kill it before it gets down into the lungs. In the lungs is where it causes the major problems. And if you can kill it in the throat before it gets to the lungs, you probably won't have many problems at all. At least that's one of the things I read by a noted doctor, but it's one of the things I haven't seen much in the mainstream media. Okay, well, I guess I'm out of here, and I thank you again for all stopping by. It's been fun. Talk to y'all later. Stay safe. Stay well.